Joey with Central Trailer Parts in Prince Frederick, and today we're going to go into a little bit deeper dive on how to actually bleed your brake system on a trailer. I have an actual disc brake system with a caliper and the rotor and everything we're going to do, and then we also have this guy down here. This is your drum brake. We're going to start right here. This particular unit, we're going to have to remove this cable. Whatever wrenches you got, or whatever you got, that's what we're going to use. I always recommend when you take this off, put the bolt back through your lanyard with your nuts so you don't lose it. Now, the next thing we need to do on this unit is, this is a piece of spring steel. We need to take this up. In this case, this has a, I'll show you in a second, this has a small lock washer. Definitely don't want to lose those lock washers. This is as simple as taking this off. This is going to fall back a little bit. The thing we're going to do, we're going to open up our cap. Right now it's empty. We're going to actually fill this up to just below the threads. There is nothing but air in these lines right now. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to get all the air out. So we're going to fill this up. Now keep in mind when we go to start pumping this up, it may take a second to actually prime before the fluid starts moving. But the worst thing you can do is actually pump until the reservoir is dry, because you're just going to introduce new air into the system. And it's going to be a little more of a pain to deal with. So you want to pump it down to where there's still some in the system, but you don't want to run it dry. We're going to start with this guy right here. We're going to start with this drum brake. The back of this drum brake, you have your line that comes in right here. And right here is your bleeder screw. So I'm actually going to crack this bleeder open. We do not want to remove it all the way, but you want to crack it open. Then it's open, fluid comes down this line right here and in. It's going to go into this cylinder that's on inside the drum, and then it's going to squirt out of here. You want to pump your surge unit, whether you got to push the coupler in and out, or in this case I got a lever on top I can pump it with. You want to pump it until fluid starts coming out. When fluid starts coming out of here, you need to close it off. If you look right in here, we're actually going to watch the fluid. I'm going to pump, and you may see a bubble, but you see the bubbles coming up. It's not primed yet. I'm waiting for it to get, kind of may have to jiggle it, and you'll feel the difference when it starts pumping fluid. There it goes. Now we're priming, it got stiff. Okay, and if we watch down at the bleeder, we're going to pump this up until fluid starts coming out. Alright, now we're going to come over here, and we're going to shut it off. Pretty tight. And now, what we need to do is check our fluid capacity right here. We're still good on the fluid. There's not a whole, there's still about half the reservoir full, which is fine. And what we're gonna now have to do on this unit specifically, we're gonna have to pump it, hold pressure on it, and it helps if you have a secondary person to do that with. Hold pressure back on the unit, and then we're gonna essentially pop the bleeder. We're gonna crack the bleeder open, and any air bubbles, it'll spurt out air, and then solid stream of fluid will come out, and we'll show you that here in a second. It's easier if you have a pipe about yay long, give you more leverage. And go ahead, pump it 1, 2, and on the third time, hold pressure all the way back. Here we go. And now we're gonna pop this bleeder. And we'll see if we got all the air out. And if there's air, it's gonna kind of spit a little bit, and then it'll come out. You kind of pop it real slow. There it goes. And now we're gonna pump it and hold pressure again, 3 times. All right, and then we're gonna see if it spits again. If it does not spit again, then all the air is out. We're good. And then you tighten that bleeder up. We're going to do a disc brake rotor now. The same method applies. The fluid's going to come out of this bleeder here. On a disc brake unit, whatever bleeder, if it's got two bleeders, you should always bleed the air out of the one that is closest to the top. And that's because air does not like to go down, it likes to go up. We're going to top off our cylinder in here, which is fine. Hold pressure on it. Shoot some air out. Go ahead, pump it one more time. Go ahead. Yep. Alrighty, that is successfully bled out. Now that should lock that really well. It's all locked in. Another thing to note is that actually in this system, we have a little bit of a leak behind the master cylinder. So one of the fittings is not quite tight enough. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in here and tighten this up. And stop that leak. That's what you got to look for. So when you have this thing pressurized, you'll find all your spots that leak, and then you can address those as well while you're bleeding. Brake fluid we used today was this stuff. We carry it right here in our store. I'm going to go ahead and put the unit back together up pretty nice. Put that back. This doesn't have to be very tight because you want it to swivel a little bit. You should be able to trail this stuff really safely. Everything's bled out, ready to go. That's it. You got any other questions, you can contact me or Dave at the Prince Frederick location. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.